In the beginning, there was nothing. And so, this nothing gained consciousness. Not actually consciousness, but awareness. Awareness of that it is nothing. So, considering that nothing being aware of nothing is actually plausible, because if you're aware of nothing, you're aware of everything that is, because nothing is all that there is. And being aware of nothing means you're being aware of something, and that something is nothing. And since something and nothing exists, that's all that there exists, and it's everything. So now everything exists, and this everything is nothing. So nothing is something, and that is everything. And so everything came into existence. Now this everything started to manifest itself as everything. For nothing is what is being manifested, and since nothing is everything, everything is being manifested. And since nothing is aware of itself, everything is aware of itself. And so everything is aware of itself, meaning that something is aware of itself, and this something is God, as the only thing that exists is God. So God, being aware of himself, sought to portion everything. And so we see angels and humanity coming into existence, for there is possibility, and this possibility has to come into play. And this, what this possibility does is it splits reality multiple times, creating the multiverse. And this multiverse is within everything, so there is nothing outside of it. So the only thing that is outside of it is nothing. So we say God is beyond everything, but also within it, for he is everything. So the multiverse being so expound and vast has a chance to play out each and every possibility, no matter how minute. And so the chance that the entire world comes to destruction that exists, and coming into fruition that exists. And if we look into our own universe, we have our earth, and from our earth we have a view of our universe, and how much we can see is how much we are allowed to see. Consider light, not just visible light, but the entire spectrum, from radio waves, microwaves, up to gamma rays, x-rays. All these are a means of being able to see our universe. And so we consider it the physical world, for there is a spiritual world. And for this spiritual world, we need a different form of light. God is that light, and we have to look through God so that we may see all that there is. And God being this light, we can see not just our universe, but also the entire multiverse, and even the omniverse. technically the omniverse encompasses all that we imagine. We're made in his image, so we can create, because God is the only thing that can create. And so, being made in his image, we have this ability to create through our imagination. And that does not mean our imagination is only limited in our minds. It is, but it does not mean so. For if we put our minds into a computer, the computer can be able to simulate our thoughts and so create this imagery. And from the 3D printing, if the technology has the ability to advance and be able to create a simulation of it, an actual physical simulation, something that we can interact with it, then we see our imagination being able to be set into our world, the physical world. And so, though it's limited to our minds, it's only for a short period of time until the technology is able to give us what we seek. And currently, we are able to see that itself from virtual reality, augmented reality. We, in virtual reality, we can get to a fabricated world and interact with it, though the tactile form of it isn't really implemented where we can feel what we are exposed to. It's just yet to be created and such. Augmented reality is just our real world, but adding portions of the virtual world. And so we see the virtual reality and our reality coming to be one reality. And so, in such a manner, with more advancement in technology, they will become one world. And so, God's mind, which creates our reality, will be fused with our minds, which creates what we imagine and everything. And so, when in the Garden of Eden, when the serpent told Eve that you will be like God, we will then see how that comes into play. Currently, there are theories or speculations that if you focus enough and actually align your what okay, not exactly, but there are those but that explain that you can do it without the advancement in technology. What technology will do is make it much simpler for everyone to do it. So basically, it's just a matter of evolving our technology. So eventually, we can control our reality, which is God's imagery, with our own imagery, not able to transcend or not able to go beyond what God can do, but able to affect it. And that in itself is just God doing what he was doing initially. It's basically something he anticipated, and so he just let it play out up to this point. So from nothing we see something, and so from something this everything is being played out in our technology today. We had an idea, and so this idea is being played out and acted upon, and eventually coming to our reality where any human being can be able to affect their physical surrounding, but by basically their thoughts. We see a company like Neuralink implanting chips into our heads, and so we get an ability to access the internet and the virtual world directly without the use of, let's say, our phones, which limit us in the way we will interact with it. There we can interact with it freely, like the way we interact with our thoughts. So when this improvement in technology, eventually we can affect our physical world in itself, because consider nanotechnology, where we can affect matter to at the atomic level so easily that it just takes a thought. And so we see that coming into play, where we can literally move mountains with just a thought.